Mr. Thompson?
You're now the attorney-in-fact for the state name.
No, sir, Mr. Thompson, you know I don't put up with any of that. You
All right.
understand? Listen to me.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You understand I'm not going to put up with that.
Yes, sir.
Not anything like that. You understand? Do you understand me?
Yes.
There's not going to be any private citizen, sovereign citizen, any of that. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're before the court today for your affidavit of violation of probation.
Here, the judge is doing something incredibly important right out of the gate. He's setting boundaries. Courts know all about sovereign citizen buzzwords. Private citizen, attorney, in fact, living soul, I do not consent, and none of it has any legal standing. Judges shut this down early because once you let these arguments into the courtroom, the entire proceeding can derail into hours of nonsense. The judge is essentially warning Mr. Thompson that if he tries any of this pseudo-legal language, he's done. This isn't oppression, it's efficiency. And viewers, take note. When a judge emphasizes clarity and compliance this early, it's because they've dealt with people like this many times before.
You filed a bunch of stuff that doesn't make any sense. I've denied most of it. I'm going to probably deny the rest of it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely.
I got some education to go, huh?
Sir,
So I've got some education to go.
you're here today by, you got a new law violation of driving my license suspended or revoked. You don't want to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
But that's the thing is, I've never even been pulled over. I don't know how I got a license or a warrant or anything. If haven't been pulled over in more than a year, any emergency contact. I went to go pick up a records request and they gave me a warrant instead of the records.
Do y'all know anything about this?
This moment highlights a classic sovereign citizen misunderstanding, the belief that a warrant must be personally delivered during a traffic stop or direct contact. That's not how warrants work. If a judge signs a warrant, law enforcement can arrest you the moment they encounter you, whether you were pulled over or whether you walked into a records office voluntarily. Thompson seems genuinely baffled here, but legally, none of this is mysterious. If you drive with a suspended license, ignore probation rules, or skip court obligations, a warrant can be issued, period. His confusion isn't proof of innocence, just proof he doesn't understand the system he's trying to fight.
As to the new law.
Do you have a driver's license?
No, sir.
Don't answer that. I shouldn't ask that question.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Strike that from the record. I won't do that if you won't do any other mess. I won't ask you that question.
But you transfer that to.
Just filed. I just filed in the court file.
I tried to and they wouldn't accept it.
All right. Was he arrested? Is there a new arrest for driving license suspended or revoked? State?
Yes, there was a bench warrant issued on 1/23/24 that's executed 1/29/24.
But I was just doing a records request and had an agreed upon date to pick it up, went up there to pick it up and gave me a warrant. So the records that are requested.
I tell you what, I'm gonna let y'all
Return
do
that?
Listen, I'm gonna leave him on probation. I'm gonna set this for preliminary on April. What's that April date?
April 17th.
April 17th. I'm gonna let him take care of that in county court and see what happens, okay?
Thank you.
And I think that's the only violation he had.
Yes, sir.
Keep doing what you're doing on this, and then we'll see you back in April, and you can take care of that in county court,
All
okay?
right. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sign a notice. I think you picked up another charge. This is at a preliminary hearing. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
No, sir.
All right. You wish to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll
All
present
right,
myself to the court.
Sir,
Said I'll present myself to the court.
if you'll swear Mr. Thompson in, sure, state your name.
I'm the attorney, in fact, for Justin Reed Thomason, fictitious name.
No, sir, you're not. State your name.
Justin Reed.
And,
That's my given name.
sir?
Justin Reed.
Okay. And Mr. Reed, you've made an,
And there it is. The judge rules that Thompson is not competent to represent himself, which is a very high legal threshold. Judges rarely strip someone of that right unless the person proves, through their own behavior, that they cannot meaningfully participate in their defense. Sovereign citizens often trigger this ruling because they refuse to follow courtroom procedure, won't state their legal name, and insist on imaginary legal statuses. Once you can't even answer a basic identification question, The judge can and will decide you're incapable of carrying out the responsibilities required of self-representation.
Justin Reed?
Reed's his middle name, Your Honor.
I understand that. What's your last name?
That's not my property, sir.
Nope, I'm not gonna take that. Tell me your real name.
Justin Reed.
What's your name on your birth certificate?
That's not my property either, sir. That's the state of
All
Florida.
right, Mr. Thompson, I'm gonna find you're not competent to represent yourself. You can keep
Justin
that.
Reed Thomason, sir. All right.
This section shows the tragic comedy of this case. The judge actually gives him a second chance at freedom, and Thompson somehow manages to get rearrested before the next hearing. When the narrator mentions he returned dressed like a walking barcode, it's a reminder that even when the system extends grace, it only works if you meet it halfway. Probation is already lenient compared to jail. All he needed to do was comply with basic rules. Don't commit new offenses and show up to court. But for sovereign citizens, defiance becomes a lifestyle, one that inevitably leads them right back into custody.
In school,
I graduated.
okay. And were you in the military?
Say again? I can't.
Were you in the, I'm sorry, were you in the military?
Yes, sir. I was in the Army.
So you knew how to read and write?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And, I remember correctly, are you on disability now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Been through a heart attack and a stroke
Yes.
since.
Also, you've had also some other physical injuries too, is that correct?
Say again?
You had some physical injuries also, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I've got 6 screws in my neck and a stent in my heart.
And before the court, I believe, court is aware of this, I believe he's had Mr. Thompson on the violation of probation before. Is your father here? Is any family here? Okay, I thought so. Okay. All right, sir. Have you ever represented yourself before?
And this court, just for the last hearing, the reason I'm on probation, that's the only 2 times I've ever tried to defend myself from here.
And you understand that attorneys are trained in the rules of evidence and criminal procedure?
I cannot hear you, sir.
This is one of the most ironic points in the entire hearing. After an hour of rejecting legal names, refusing to answer questions properly, and spouting sovereign citizen rhetoric, the moment the judge mentions a hearing device, the defendant suddenly becomes cooperative. It shows how selective the "I don't recognize this court's authority" mindset truly is. When it benefits them, sovereign citizens absolutely rely on the very systems they claim to reject. The pattern is predictable. Deny jurisdiction until it's convenient. Deny legal identity until identification becomes necessary. Deny representation until consequences become real.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. You understand that attorneys are trained in the rules of evidence and criminal procedure?
Say again?
Do you want a hearing device?
Huh? Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, you understand that attorneys are trained in the rules of evidence, criminal procedure, and law, and they're there to assist you in preparing for this preliminary hearing and preparing for an evidentiary hearing. You understand that?
Yeah, well, from my past experience, they didn't seem to want to do any of those things for me.
Well, I'm just asking, do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And that you'll be held to that same standard?
Yes, sir.
And that if I do allow you to represent yourself, the first time I hear anything that sounds like what you started talking about today, you will not be able to represent yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And that'll be immediate.
Yes, sir.
And I'll never allow you to represent yourself again in this proceeding.
This is the judge laying down the law in the clearest terms possible. He's basically saying, I will let you defend yourself, but the moment you start sovereign citizen nonsense again, the privilege ends permanently. And that's fair. Self-representation is a constitutional right, but only if you follow courtroom procedure. You can't demand to represent yourself and ignore the foundational rules that make a hearing possible. The judge is giving him one last shot, not out of obligation, but out of patience. If he messes it up again, that option disappears forever.
I hear that. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes, sir. I believe in self-defense. Yes, sir.
Sir?
I believe in self-defense. Yes, sir. I went to war for this country. I would always like to represent and defend myself.
Okay. All right. Was there an amended violation of probation filed yet?
It looks like there was on March 1st, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. All right, well, sir, I'm going to allow you to represent yourself at any point in time that you wish to have an attorney appointed to represent you, I'll appoint one. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. You're here today on a violation of probation hearing. And how do you wish to plead?
Not guilty.
All right. And let's see.
I would like to move on to evidentiary hearing if we could, sir.
Well, you have to give the state notice. They'll have to have a chance to subpoena witnesses. This is not your evidentiary hearing today.
No, I just want to move for one.
You want to move for one?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Who's the attorney?
It's me.
Ms. McAfee, I'm going to set this for an evidentiary hearing. I don't want to set it on the 22nd because that's graduation. Yeah, let's go ahead and set it May 22nd at 1:30. We'll do that at a preliminary at 9 o'clock. And Mr. Thompson, remember, at any point in time, you want to ask for an attorney, I'll appoint one. You understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I be released until we get to that evidentiary hearing so that I can?
Mr. Thompson has asked to, has made an oral tennis motion for release. Ms. McAfee, what's the state's position?
I believe the new law is a misdemeanor driving on a suspended license. Based on that, I have no objection.
This is remarkable. The state doesn't object, and the judge actually releases him again on the condition he not operate a vehicle. That's generous, especially considering Thompson's entire criminal history revolves around refusing to follow licensing laws. This moment is the crossroads. The judge is essentially saying, I'm trusting you, but only barely. If Thompson violates this by driving again, the consequences will be far worse. Probation violations typically stack, meaning the penalties get heavier every time. He's been given a rare opportunity here. The tragedy is that he doesn't realize how rare it truly is.
Pardon?
I have no objection.
To release him back? All right. As a special condition of your probate, I'll release you on your own, I'll release you at this time, based on that award tennis motion, the state's position. As a special condition of that release, you're not to operate a motor vehicle. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
No questions asked. You cannot operate a motor vehicle. You'll abide by the terms and conditions of your probation. You'll sign a notice to come back on the May 22nd at 9 and 1:30. You'll need to step over and speak to the probation officer, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
We worked out an agreement in this case. And the probation will be extended 24 months from the original date. All prior conditions of the original plea agreement still reinstated. And the only other agreement would be, it's based upon a driving license suspended and an obstruction charge, which is pending in misdemeanor court. He's the one who admit to it, so we're going to stipulate to the facts that the state, what they call the witnesses, they could prove in VOP court the violation. Okay? Am I right? This is what you agreed to, right? 24 months.
I can just make a find. There's a basis that he's
Yeah.
had contact with law enforcement.
Okay. 24 months from the original plea date, and just all the prior conditions are reinstated, and that's it. Okay?
Mhm.
Okay. I sign right there. Sign that.
Every time.
Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, Mr. Thompson, state your name.
I'd like to grant my name to this court, sir.
What, sir?
I'd like to grant the name to this court. That's what you recommended before is what it's off of. I'd like to have my disclaimer here. Can we give this to the clerk?
I think I'm gonna just revoke his release and put him in custody.
This is the classic sovereign citizen downfall, refusing to state their name. Courts cannot proceed without identifying the defendant. You can't grant rights, enter pleas, or finalize agreements if the defendant won't acknowledge their legal identity. Thompson's insistence that his name is property of the state or something he must grant to the court is taken straight out of the sovereign citizen playbook. But in reality, it only hurts him. The judge is visibly frustrated because this nonsense derails the process and risks sending Thompson straight back into custody.
Say again?
It's what I'm planning on, is what I'd like to do.
Your name right now, your legal name is Justin Reed Thomason. Is that right?
That's their legal name. That's who owns it.
All right, look, you signed this thing.
I signed it.
Okay, you signed it, and you agreed to what this position is, correct? You agree to abide by probation, is that correct?
I guess I don't have much of a choice.
Yes, you
so
do.
Under duress. This whole thing is under duress, but I'll do it because I don't have a choice.
Can I have a few minutes with him?
I'm thinking about revoking his release and just taking him into custody and continuing his
Say again?
evidentiary hearing, putting you back in jail
Really? Why?
because you're
What would you like me to do, sir?
to at least answer the questions. Tell me your name. Don't do all this nonsense of what you're doing. Okay?
Justin Reed Thomason.
Your dad's been here at every
I
court
know.
date. And your sister,
I don't
I
like
know,
it
has
any
been
more
here
than he
before. And they're trying their best. And I know you've got some issues, but they're trying their best.
Here, the judge delivers perhaps the most honest, direct reality check of the entire case. He points out what Thompson refuses to accept. His behavior is steering him toward prison. Not conspiracy, not corruption, not government overreach. His behavior. The judge also highlights how Thompson's family shows up for every hearing trying to keep him grounded, yet Thompson keeps sabotaging himself. It's one of those heartbreaking moments where you can see the judge balancing authority with empathy, trying to keep the defendant from destroying his own future.
To take care of you. And you're trying your best to go to prison.
No, I'm not. I'm trying.
Yes, sir, you are.
Try my best to be free.
No, sir, you're not. What you're trying your best to do is go to prison. And that's exactly what's going to happen if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. And I understand you've got some issues, but I do also understand that you're competent to proceed. And I am willing to put you back on probation right now. And the only thing it will cost you is an extra $250 over the probationary period and extend it to 24 months. And then you can fight your county court case if that's what you want to do.
Yes, sir.
If that's what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Your name's Justin Reed Thomason, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's what you were named at birth, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you understand that you're waiving your right to an evidentiary hearing, is that correct?
Did I?
Or are you? I've got you set for a hearing this afternoon.
We're pleading to this instead of having a hearing.
Okay. Okay.
You're waiving that right, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're waiving your right to require the state prove the allegations against you.
That's a big one, but
Yeah. And the only thing you're admitting is that you got arrested on some new charges. You're not admitting whether you did or did not do the crime that you're charged with.
I definitely got arrested.
You definitely
Been
got arrested.
6 times in the last 18 months, which
Yes, sir.
When the judge mentions the 6 arrests in 18 months, it reveals the core issue. Thompson isn't unlucky, he's uncooperative. Sovereign citizens often treat laws as optional, which turns routine encounters into criminal events. A suspended license arrest becomes a probation violation. A refusal to cooperate becomes obstruction. A missed court date becomes a warrant. It snowballs fast, and Thompson is sliding straight down that hill. The judge isn't mocking him, he's trying to wake him up. But sovereign citizens rarely listen until the consequences hit. And even then, they often blame the system instead of themselves.
Yes, I'm gonna find there's a basis. I'm gonna find that Mr. Thomas's admission was freely and voluntarily made. It's extended sentence is extended 24 months from the original sentence date. All conditions that are reimposed. There's an additional $250 imposed today for the cost of the prosecution of the violation of probation. Sir, you have 30 days to find notice of appeal. If you'd like to have an attorney to appoint to represent you, one may be appointed to represent you at no charge. Step right over there and speak to Mr. Thompson. I thought Mr. Thompson was in jail.
At this stage, the judge isn't just controlling the courtroom, he's fighting to pull Thompson back into the real world. When a defendant spirals into sovereign citizen ideology, proceedings become impossible. The judge knows it. You can hear it in his voice. He's trying to stop this man from walking straight into a legal catastrophe. He keeps repeating basic instructions, keeps simplifying legal concepts, keeps grounding the conversation in facts. Why? Because competent defendants must understand what charges they face, what rights they have, and what outcomes are possible. And right now, Thompson is mentally drifting into another universe. The judge is trying to keep him tethered, and it's slipping.
And he was given a notice, conditional release by Judge Campbell. Mr. Thompson, do you wish to have an attorney appointed to represent you today? What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at revoking your release because in my opinion, you should be in custody and should not have been released from custody. I believe this is a new law violation. Is that correct?
A what, sir?
A new law violation.
I don't.
When you arrested on another driving license, suspended or revoked?
Yes, they were staking out my house and I don't understand why. I was going to get some food.
I'm going to revoke your release at this time and take you into custody for a violation of probation. Go ahead and take you into
sir.
custody.
I'm here to finalize that disclaimer that I have. It's here now, sir. If you
Take him into
would
custody.
accept it, please.
I'm revoking your release. You should have been, you should have been held without bond. He's going to be held without bond.
I'm not going anywhere. The guy.
Just give him to his father there.
I'll put.
That's the Can't believe this is happening again.
We'll talk to him again about an attorney when he has a seat up there.
I was down there trying to pay the fines before I came in here, sir.
Mr. Thompson, I
Well, they told me to come back after
didn't
this.
sign the warrant. I thought you were being held without bond. I guess I should have checked, but I'd have signed the warrant and you'd have been held.
That was because my father, he said, I've been helping with the family. He's had a pacemaker put in just a few days ago and I'm trying to help nurse the family.
Put him in the box.
You were taking me away from the
Put him in
family.
the box.
Anything else you probably that you want to give?
I got the money on me to pay.
This is where you can feel the courtroom tension hitting a breaking point. The judge has repeated every instruction multiple times. He's given warnings, explanations, and chances. But when a defendant refuses to answer direct questions, not because they can't, but because they won't, the judge is forced to tighten control. Courts don't operate on vibes or beliefs, they operate on procedure. If a defendant won't follow the procedure, the judge has to take action. And you can see that shift happening right here. The judge is going from patient and careful to firm and decisive. The window of leniency is closing quickly.
The court, you were arrested on a new misdemeanor charge. Judge Campbell, I think, released you for a notice to appear today or released you on your pretrial release. This is my probation. I got a warrant, so I'm going to issue a warrant today, hold without bond, based on your.
What is that now?
Judge Campbell, you were arrested on a new misdemeanor driving license suspended or revoked. Judge Campbell, on your violation of probation, released you, the pretrial release program. I'm revoking that release because it's my probation, and I'm gonna hold you without bond based on the new violation.
That's just terrible.
Well, I can't help it, Mr. Thompson. You've got another
I was here to
charge.
disclaim and surrender all those documents that hold me liable here and move.
This is the classic collision we see in these cases. Sovereign citizen ideology versus the actual law. Thompson believes that by refusing certain words or labels, he can avoid jurisdiction. But jurisdiction isn't optional. You don't get to accept or deny it. If the court has lawful authority, and it does, then your opinion about that authority has no legal effect whatsoever. The more Thompson leans into the fantasy, the more the judge is forced to strip away freedoms he could have kept. This moment is the turning point where ideology stops being quirky and starts being dangerous for his future.
Appointed to represent you.
No, sir.
You understand attorneys are, go ahead and swear Mr. Thompson in.
For what reason?
I'm gonna swear you and ask you some questions.
I don't think I'm supposed to be sworn in. Due to my faith.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you to affirm, not swear. Okay?
It's the same thing though, isn't it? Affirming and swearing.
I don't know.
I'm here for, let my yeas be a nay and my noes be a no.
Whatever that means. It means
Yes,
nothing to
sir.
me. But what I
I'm
will
here
do is-
for
well, let me ask
honesty
you, do
and
you wish to have an,
justice.
do you wish
And
to
there's
have
no
an,
justice in
do
this
you
house.
wish to have an attorney appointed to represent you?
No, you keep doing it anyway, though. I mean, I've never authorized that from the
Do you wish to
beginning.
have an attorney appointed to represent you?
No, sir.
All right. And how far did you get in school? How far did you get in school?
Graduated 12th grade.
Okay, and you were in the military, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I was in the Army infantry.
Okay.
Went to war and buried enough of my brothers and sisters to come home.
Yes, sir.
And this,
And
Kind
you
of
understand,
justice.
and you can read and write. Correct?
to an extent,
Now the judge moves into final evaluation mode. He's weighing everything: the defendant's behavior, the probation history, the repeated violations, and the courtroom outbursts. Judges don't just punish, they analyze the risk. And right now, Thompson looks like a walking risk to his own freedom. The judge must ask, can this man survive on probation without violating it again? And to be honest, if you've been arrested 6 times in 18 months, all while refusing to follow basic legal rules, the answer becomes painfully clear. The judge is deciding whether to keep him in the community or put him somewhere he can't hurt himself legally anymore.
You can't read and write altogether?
Well, I mean, it all depends on what dictionary you're using too.
If you use a regular legal dictionary, can you read and write that? Read that.
Say again?
A regular dictionary.
Didn't what?
Can you read it? Just a regular dictionary, Webster's dictionary.
Yes, I have one at home.
Okay. So you can write too.
I have several different ones. I have Black's Law's dictionaries as well.
I was going to
medical
say, so you can
dictionary.
read and write.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I know you've been treated, but I've had you examined before.
100% disabled.
I understand that. I've done everything I could to keep you out of
I've
jail.
already been injured 2 different times at the jails.
I understand that completely, Mr. Thomason, but I've had no luck. Every 2
I
months.
came here
you're
to
back
pay and
in-
they told me to come back to complete
Every
it 'cause
2
I
months,
couldn't-
you're back in court. So what I'm going to do you still wish to represent yourself?
I don't, I think that's the best matter for me.
I mean, it's up to you. Right now,
I just still think that's the best matter for me, but
what I'm going to
it
do is,
doesn't seem like anything's fair inside this house. Nothing seems fair here.
how many times have you been released from custody in the last year?
I've been arrested 7 times
I
now
understand that.
without any victims. I don't understand how the state of Florida, a stack of papers can be a victim.
Okay. All right. I'm going to allow you to represent yourself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have Mr. Thompson evaluated again. Ms. Nelson, if you go ahead and prepare us on the court's own order, I'm going to hold you without bond based on the new
That's just
violation of
terrible.
probation.
My mother's 100% disabled. My dad has a pacemaker now, and you're gonna hold me without
Your
bond.
dad's
over
at court every day with you. I understand that completely, sir.
There've been no victims whatsoever in any of my arrests.
And here we are at the end. The judge delivers the final ruling. Thompson walks out with another chance, but only after the court practically dragged him through the process step by step. His probation is extended, restrictions tightened, and the consequences spelled out so clearly that even he can't pretend to misunderstand them. This case shows exactly what happens when ideology collides with reality. The judge wasn't harsh, he was patient beyond belief. He offered Thompson every possible way to succeed. But the only person who can change Thompson's future is Thompson. If you're watching this for the first time, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more intense courtroom breakdowns like this one. Trust me, the next case is even wilder.